pussy. How the hell you tough, but you always fucking snitching? All these niggas do is fucking fight about these bitches. And the sauce burns out and they bag from these bitches. Gotta watch these niggas cause they really backdoor you. Watch them. Gotta watch these hoes cause they really not for you. Nah. I'm not really worried cause I'm really counting paper. I might take your hoe and I'll smack her on the table. Niggas play you close just to get up in your business.
What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Chris. I'm back at again with another banger video. And my first question is, did y'all enjoy that? Did y'all enjoy that little song? Cause that, I won't lie, that's a song that I done made and it's honestly ready to drop. But I'm gonna just keep on letting out like little snippets of songs that I have made or that are, you know, songs that are ready to be presented out to the world. If y'all mess with them, and y'all want me to drop it, I'll drop the whole thing. But y'all just let me know, man. If you are new to this channel, go and hit that subscribe button. And if you already have subscribed, bro, hit that like button. Almost forgot what to say. And comment something down below in the comment section. I had this video actually emailed to my business email. I forgot his name, but shout out to you. He sent me a lot of videos to react to. Y'all can either go on my Instagram, DM it to me, and you know, I'll get to it, or you can send it to my business email. I'll get straight into it, y'all. I don't know how long this is, so let's get straight into it, and yeah, let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Swamp Stories. For this episode, we head down south to the real swamp.
That's a nice title.
Swamp Stories officially earns its name after this one. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. You can also follow the Instagram page as well.
I'm still hungry, cuz.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Now one of the hottest cities in the hip-hop world, but it wasn't always this way. So in order for it to make sense, let's head back a few decades. Back in the 1950s, Baton Rouge was a small, quiet country town that existed for only two reasons. It's the state capital and it has Louisiana State University. Other than that, there was never much of anything going on in Baton Rouge.
I keep it a buck. At first, like this is whenever I was younger though. I only knew Baton Rouge honestly for LSU. Only reason. But then I knew about BOOSIE. And then when I was younger, I found out about BOOSIE, and then, and I said, oh snap, it's not just LSU. And then I said, forget LSU football. And I was rocking with BOOSIE.
And that's a big reason why the city's population was around 35,000 residents.
Oh, wow.
But ever since the 1960s, Baton Rouge has steadily grown bigger and bigger. And that can be attributed to the city about an hour down the road. During the late 1960s, the city of New Orleans started getting really, really bad. And by 1972, it was America's most dangerous city. And because of this, many New Orleans residents began moving out to Baton Rouge to escape.
Is that a dead body?
So New Orleans' population dropped from 650,000 to 490,000 in under 15 years.
Wow.
And during the same time span, Baton Rouge gained nearly 100,000 residents. And although I'm making it seem like a thriving city, it's hardly that. In fact, Baton Rouge is one of America's poorest cities. With a median household income of just $42,000, it's safe to say that folks in Baton Rouge aren't quite striking it rich. And despite it being a capital city with all kinds of government jobs, 26% of residents are living in poverty. So I can honestly say that there aren't any vegan cafes that sell $10 avocado toast anywhere near Baton Rouge. But not only is poverty an issue, but crime is as well.
Yup.
Baton Rouge is one of the top 5 most dangerous cities in the country. But the way the streets operate is much different than many other places, especially California. So let me break it down. In Baton Rouge, neighborhoods don't really matter. For example, in LA, if you're born in the Hoovers area, you can't associate or go to the 60s. It's structured based on territory and colors. But in Baton Rouge, it's completely different.
Wait, I paused it because didn't they? I know they stopped. They stopped doing like the little color thing. Right? They stopped doing that, right? They don't really care what color you got on, right? It's just all about the hood, right?
Neighborhoods pretty much mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. For example, someone saying I'm from South Baton Rouge or 50th Street has no weight to it. That alone won't get you pressed or cause any issues. Instead, enemies are based on personal grievances or small cliques that you may have had run-ins with. Rivals can be made literally anywhere. At the gas station, the grocery store, the DMV. That's just the environment. Everyone is on edge and ready to go at any moment. And if you don't believe me, just ask anyone from there. They will all tell you the same thing. It's absolute chaos. So in this video, you're going to hear possibly the craziest story that's ever been on Swamp Story. But before we get into it, let me run the intro.
Oh, pull up on a block, then she sell my car. And she like, damn, Chris, yeah, y'all won't stop. I don't really care, yeah, shooting at the ops. Hit him in his head, man, a nigga fucking vomit. I don't fucking care, little nigga got no money. Then I took your chicken, look. I'm sorry.
During the 1990s, Baton Rouge was always overshadowed by New Orleans. Between the Hot Boys, Juvenile, Master P, Soulja Slim, Lil Wayne, Birdman, Turk, BG, and Manny Fresh, you can say that New Orleans definitely had the spotlight. But as No Limit began cooling down and Birdman and Lil Wayne moved away to the mainstream world, New Orleans lost its spotlight. And that's when Baton Rouge began to rise. A young man named Torrance Hatch, also known as Lil BOOSIE, had the local scene on fire. But although he was a local success down south, he wasn't exactly doing major numbers. That was until 2005 when BOOSIE signed with Warner Brothers, and this is when things would start looking up for him. But despite the mainstream success, BOOSIE's life in Baton Rouge was all but on an upward trajectory. This is one of the most complicated and illogical stories I have ever told. So please rewind and pause if you have to.
Yeah, I heard what he said.
Lil BOOSIE is from South Baton Rouge, but more specifically the Roosevelt Street Projects. And during his childhood, his neighborhood was run by a group called BBG, also known as Bottom Boy Gorillas. I know the name sounds very unlike BOOSIE, if you know what I mean, but it actually makes sense. They operate out of what's known as the bottom of South Baton Rouge. This is pretty much considered Washington Street down to Astor Street, and BBG put fours down to mark where they're from. And on the other side of Washington Street, you have another group called TBG. This means Top Boy Gorillas, and they put fours up to show that they're from the top of South Baton Rouge.
Okay, so BBG hosts fours down, TBG hosts fours up. Bet.
Both sides are known for getting money and playing rough. And although there was an off and on rivalry between members of both groups, I wouldn't necessarily call it a beef at all. It's way more complicated than TBG versus BBG, and most of the losses came from internal issues on both sides. So let's get into the event. BOOSIE always rolled with his two closest friends, Ivy Smith, also known as Lil Ivy, and Daryl Milton, also known as Bleak. Both Ivy and Bleak were the top two TBG members, known for calling shots and leading the most hated group in all of Baton Rouge. And BOOSIE was no less than them, except that he had become the head of BBG. And that's to say that South Baton Rouge was all rocking together. BBG and TBG was all one family. But once
You already know we don't do ads around here. We don't do ads around here, yo. Word to my mother, we don't do ads around here. Play it back a little bit. Another ad? Come on, cuz.
But once
Come on, cuz. With that. Come on, man. I'm trying to react to the motherfucking move.
his friend looked and TBG was all one family. But once BOOSIE began blowing up, his friend Lil Ivy wanted to start rapping as well. So he would start his own label called TBG Records. And this is where things began to get blurry. Some people in Baton Rouge say that BOOSIE didn't want to see Ivy get on his level, so he prevented him from connecting with major labels. Some would say that this caused tension between TBG and BBG, but BOOSIE claims that that's not true and there was no friction. Regardless, things would get serious on April 2nd, 2005. It's a Friday night in Baton Rouge, and BOOSIE is set to do a walkthrough at Club Shenanigans. But the main reason he's there is to celebrate Ivy Smith's 25th birthday. So to those who say they had issues, please explain that. But anyways, while at the club, an argument breaks out between a local rapper named Nusi and Lil BOOSIE's crew. That's when BOOSIE, who at this point is already signed to Warner Brothers, decides to leave the club. So BOOSIE leaves with most of his entourage except for Ivy Smith, who stays in the club till the very end. Ivy gets in his car with two friends and heads to his home all the way in Sherwood Forest. And as he's driving down Interstate 12, a car pulls up beside him and bang!
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to all of them.
All the attention was on one man only, Nussie. It had to be Nussie who did it, and everyone was convinced. But Nussie would instantly dispel the rumors, saying that he wasn't involved in any ways. He was even able to prove to police that he was at a completely different location at the time it happened.
Basically, I didn't do it, but ain't nobody believed me. But later on down the line, a couple months later, they found out I didn't do it. Ain't nobody apologized to me for it, so I'm mad now. So I'm like, let's get it on, you know?
So after this, a new rumor began roaming around Baton Rouge. People would say that Ivy was not into it with rivals. Rather, he had issues with his own friend over some money. That would be a man by the name of Tremaine Franklin, also known as Lil Pig. Lil Pig was a fixture within the BBG-TBG circle, and he was often seen with Lil Boosie in music videos. Now, let me state that this here is 100% hearsay and was never proven in court, so take it as a rumor, not a fact. But regardless, this here may convince you that Lil Pig was the one who did it. April 23rd, 2008. Lil Pig and his mother are sitting on the porch of their South Baton Rouge home. That's when a man pulls up and bang.
Dang. Rest in peace.
Again, at first, all eyes were pointed at Nussie, but those within the circle knew exactly what this was all about. After a little while, a new name was being talked about all around Baton Rouge. That would be a young man named Nicholas Sterling, also known as Lil Finn. Lil Finn was very close to Lil Boosie and was often seen by his side, and everyone started saying that he was the one who handled Lil Pig for what he did to Lil Ivy. Regardless if it's true or not, everything would come around for him just a few months later. August 23rd, 2008. Lil Finn gets into a random argument with a man on McKinley Street. The man, whose name is Donald Eli, would notice Lil Finn reaching down, and that's when he would react. Bang! Lil Finn, or Lil Nick, which is his other nickname, is still a legendary name in Baton Rouge. He was one of Boosie's closest friends, and you can always hear him referring to him in his music. But this just goes to show that in Baton Rouge, things always catch up to you. So boom, here we are at the end of 2008, and although Boosie is more popular than ever before, things are falling apart for him in Baton Rouge. Now without Ivy, Josh Thomas, Kevin Henderson, Lil Pig, and Lil Finn, Boosie definitely lost a lot of his muscle. And that right there introduces us to a brand new character. Let me introduce you to Michael Louding, also known as Marlo Mike. The name Marlo Mike rings bells all throughout Louisiana because he is truly something else. Marlo Mike grew up in the same neighborhood as Boosie, but was definitely less fortunate. In fact, he was the poorest kid in the entire neighborhood, and his living conditions absolutely stunned Lil Boosie. He could not believe the way that Marlo Mike was being raised, so Boosie would step up to the plate and take him in as a son of his own. He was even allowing him to live with him since the age of 12. But once Marlo Mike got old enough, he would outgrow the role of a kid and have a new role in South Baton Rouge. He became Lil Boosie's new enforcer, and that's not me saying it, he said it himself. But Marlo Mike was only 15 years old when he got his start, and this story is absolutely insane. All of this is as told by Marlo Mike as he took the witness stand in 2012. Some information was confirmed and others were dismissed. Don't take everything as a fact, rather a personal account. And that takes us to April of 2009. Lil Boosie allegedly gets his chain snatched by another BBG member. That would be a man by the name of Marcus Thomas. And Lil Boosie felt disrespected to the point where he would ask Marlo Mike and Michael Judson to handle it for him. April 25th, 2009. Marcus Thomas is driving down West McKinley Street just 2 blocks from Boosie's project. That's when Marlo Mike pulls up and bang. Another internal conflict in Baton Rouge over something pointless, once again. And at this point, everything that happened to South Baton Rouge was between them. And because of that, everyone assumed that the problems with Nussie were over. In fact, both artists would do interviews confirming that they ran into each other at the airport and squashed it. And given that, you'd assume that everything was good. But unfortunate news would come soon. February 9th, 2009. Marlo Mike drives up to Nussie's neighborhood in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. He heads down America Street and bam. This incident here shocked everyone, especially after they publicly squashed their issues. But Marlo Mike would claim that after the interviews were done, Boosie would actually disrespect Boosie at a nightclub again. And sadly, that's all it took. But another major event would occur just a few months later, October 21st, 2009. Boosie and his friend Michael Judson get a letter from Angola State Prison. The letter is from a friend, and it states that a man named Terry Boyd was in Angola talking about what he's gonna do to Boosie. It just so happens that Terry Boyd gets out the same day. So Boosie tells Marlo Mike that he has $25,000 for him, and he knows exactly what to do. So Marlo Mike drives out to Terry's address. He waits for the night. Bang! Marlo Mike would then say that he returned to Boosie's house, and he would say that Boosie recorded 2 songs to celebrate the event. Anyways, Boosie would give Marlo $2,800 in rewards, which I guess was not enough for his loyalty. And that takes us to April 1st, 2010. Marlo Mike is contacted by a rival of Boosie named Reginald Youngblood. The man offers him a sum of money to catch up with Boosie's 2 closest friends. That would be Charles Noki Matthews and Daryl Bleak Milton. And some would say that these were Boosie's only 2 day one friends left. Regardless of how much money he was offered, there's no way Marlo Mike would do it, right? You'd think that he would be loyal to the man who took him in since the age of 12. Not in this case. Marlo Mike is cold. On the morning of April 1st, 2010, Marlo Mike would get the job done.
Hey, I don't even cap, bro. Yeah, he was right. He's something. He's something. Wow. Dang. Dang. Ooh, wow.
After this, literally everyone was left clueless. Marlo Mike would even attend the funeral 2 weeks later with Boosie and everyone else from BBG. But shortly after, he would go down for it, and so would another unexpected man from Boosie's neighborhood. That would be a man named Kendrick Johnson, who Boosie had pretty much raised as well. And Kendrick Johnson is the younger brother of Boosie's artist Lil Fat. Boosie would talk about this on DJ Vlad.
Fat ain't do nothing to make the situation how it was. His brother had did something to make the situation how it was.
Well, Marlo Mike, for whatever reason, decided to tell everything in detail. He wasn't offered a way out or anything. He just figured why not take the Tekashi route, except with no reward. He would go into detail about every single situation, which pretty much only made it worse for him. But then when it came to the Tory Boyd situation, Marlo Mike would say that Boosie paid him to do it, and this would ultimately result in Boosie's arrest. However, an unexpected person would come to Boosie's defense. That would be Terry Boyd's sister, who claimed that her brother and Boosie had no issues whatsoever. Why she did this, it didn't seem to make any sense at first, until people realized that she has a child with Boosie. So at that point, she wants her child's father to be around for her kid. So honestly, even though I think it's a tough decision, I think she made the right one. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments whether she should have stuck up for her brother or her child's father. Well, long story short, Boosie beats the charge in 2012, and Marlo Mike is doing life. Many of his statements in court were deemed hearsay and were unapplicable to Boosie's case. And on top of this, when it was time for Marlo Mike to officially testify against Boosie, he took back all of his previous statements. Thankfully, after getting out, Boosie would move to Atlanta to enjoy a peaceful life with his children. But just when you thought the old drama was put in the past, Lil Ivy's nephew, who goes by the nickname Lit Yoshi, would go on Instagram Live and accuse Boosie of having something to do with the loss of his Uncle Ivy.
That's just what? That's like it's just crazy how it's a lot of family ties. Like I didn't even know that Lit Yoshi what? I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, I used to listen to Boosie music. I remember when I was little, uncles used to take me by Boosie's house. Yeah, that used to be my favorite rapper. I grew up off his music, off his old music, cause that new music, yeah, Trill wanted to sign Ivy. Yeah, that's what it was. Amy wanted to sign Ivy, and Boosie ain't won't answer the phone. You know what I'm saying? And Bleak got tired of telling Ivy Boosie don't want to talk. He kept telling Boosie and all this and that. So Ivy said, fuck him. And for his birthday, he tried to bring him a pint of syrup. And the nigga ain't take that night. Matter of fact, Boosie need to stop posting Ivy, man. I don't know why I be letting that shit make me mad. What they be doing on Instagram Live and Instagram. That shit really be making me mad. It be getting to me. I don't even know why I let it get to me.
Boosie would respond to the claim.
son Ivan, but you ain't wanted to help him. Man, nah, bro. Don't believe that, man. Them dudes was 3 years old when this was going down. Ivan, we wouldn't treat her like that, dude.
The whole situation is unfortunate, but it's good to see Boosie grow past all this and live a great life with his family. And no one will ever know the truth about any of this, but either way, it's history. And there is a value in learning history so that it won't repeat itself. But sadly, in this case, the new generation of TBG and BBG are no different. If you guys want to see a part 2 of this episode,
y'all let me know if y'all want me to react to this right here or this right here. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say. This was a good video, honestly. My fault. This was a good video, honestly. He did a very good job on explaining everything. 2009 was crazy, boy. It was going ballistic in 2009. I won't even hold you. But before I leave, I just want to say rest in peace to everybody that was in the video. Rest in peace to everybody. And yeah, stay safe out there, y'all. I thank y'all. Love y'all for everything. Don't forget to leave a like, comment. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for your boy. And comment videos down that I should react to, man. I thank y'all. Love y'all once again. And I am out. Peace.